Max Verstappen confirms stay at Red Bull for 2026. No more rumors. Imagine the buzz and speculation that has been swirling around the Formula One world. Max Verstappen, the reigning champion, has finally put an end to the rumors and confirmed that he will be staying with Red Bull for the 2026 season. This announcement comes as a relief to many fans who have been eagerly awaiting clarity on his future. But here's where it gets controversial. The speculation about Verstappen's future has been fueled by comments from Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff, who openly expressed interest in signing the Dutch driver. This revelation has sparked a lot of debate among fans and experts alike. Some argue that Wolff's comments were a strategic move to unsettle Red Bull, while others see it as a genuine attempt to lure Verstappen to Mercedes. And this is the part most people miss. The exit clause in Verstappen's contract with Red Bull was a significant factor in the speculation. This clause would have allowed him to leave the team at the end of 2025 if he were fourth or lower in the championship after the Hungarian Grand Prix. However, Verstappen's performance in the Belgian Grand Prix, where he finished fourth, secured his position in the standings, making it impossible for him to drop to fourth place in Hungary. Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko had already hinted at Verstappen's decision to stay with the team. And the driver himself confirmed this during a news conference in Hungary. "It's time to stop all the rumors," Verstappen stated, emphasizing his commitment to Red Bull. He also highlighted his focus on improving performance and future plans with the team, indicating that he has always been clear about his intentions to stay. Verstappen signed his current contract with Red Bull in 2022, which keeps him with the team until the end of the 2028 season. When asked if similar speculation might arise next year, Verstappen playfully responded, "If you ask me that question next year, then yes, we will have that speculation." He added that he prefers to concentrate on performance rather than contract details. The confirmation of Verstappen's stay at Red Bull comes at a pivotal time for the team. Following the ousting of team principal Christian Horner after the British Grand Prix, former Racing Bulls team principal Laurent Mekies has taken the helm. Verstappen sees this change as an opportunity for the team to reset and challenge its previous ways of operating. "That's always the case," he said, expressing his excitement about Mekies' approach. "It's still very early days, but I do like how Laurent is working. Very motivated, constantly asking the right questions to me, but also to the team. It's nice to see." Despite the challenges of the current season, Verstappen remains optimistic about the future. "I hope in the coming year, 2 years, that we can really see his touch to the team," he concluded. So what do you think? Will Verstappen's decision to stay with Red Bull be a game changer for the team? Or will the speculation continue to haunt them? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Max Verstappen commits to Red Bull for 2026 F1 season amid Mercedes rumors. Max Verstappen's commitment to Red Bull is a game changer for F1. After months of speculation, the four-time world champion has officially stated that he will continue his journey with the team for the 2026 season, ending years of uncertainty about his future. This decision comes after a period of intense debate, especially as Red Bull struggled to match Mercedes' dominance in recent races. Verstappen, who has claimed back-to-back titles for 4 consecutive years, was widely believed to be considering a move to Mercedes. This speculation grew stronger after Red Bull's performance dipped, and many expected the Silver Arrows to have a competitive edge under the new regulations set to take effect in 2025. However, Mercedes chief Toto Wolff admitted earlier this year that discussions were underway to bring Verstappen to the team. Yet, he consistently emphasized that the Dutchman would likely leave after the 2026 season, leaving fans and analysts in a state of limbo. While Verstappen's contract with Red Bull is tied until 2028, it includes release clauses that could allow him to exit the team earlier. This flexibility has fueled debates about whether he'll stay or follow the path of other top drivers who have left their teams for bigger opportunities. But Verstappen has made it clear. He's not interested in playing games with his future. People always talk about things, but the only one who should speak is the one with the real plan, he said during a press conference ahead of the Hungarian Grand Prix, the last race before the summer break. I do this on purpose because it's pointless to spread rumors when the facts are clear. This statement highlights a broader controversy in F1, the tension between players who prioritize stability and those who chase short-term gains. Verstappen's decision to commit now, despite previous hesitation, reflects his belief in long-term planning. However, some argue that his refusal to publicly confirm his stance until recently was a calculated move to avoid pressure from fans or media. If my boat is next to Toto's, then the boat is next to Toto's, Verstappen quipped when asked about the rumors linking him to Mercedes. It's not about work relationships, it's about personal connections. The situation took a dramatic turn in July, when Christian Horner, Red Bull's team principal, was replaced after 20 years in the role. This upheaval intensified speculation about Verstappen's future, as both Horner and Wolff were seen on holiday in Sardinia, a detail that sparked wild theories. Verstappen dismissed these rumors, stating, "I don't like opera. I just like to go on holiday, have fun, and focus on racing." Now, with Horner gone and the team in transition, Verstappen has signaled that his plans for 2025 and beyond are already in motion. "I'm discussing with the team the changes we want to make next year," he said. "That means I'm staying with the team for next year." For fans, this decision raises questions about loyalty in a sport where talent often moves between teams. Will Verstappen's commitment to Red Bull hold up under pressure? Or will the allure of Mercedes' resources eventually pull him away? As the Hungarian Grand Prix approaches, one thing is certain: Verstappen's choice to stay will shape the future of F1 for years to come. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. A reset in Formula One. Red Bull Mercedes' new beginning. A transformation beyond Red Bull. The anticipation leading up to the Belgian Grand Prix weekend was heavily centered on Christian Horner's exit from Red Bull Racing, and the subsequent effects on the team and its roster of drivers. From the very first moment Max Verstappen addressed the media, it was clear that his comments were marked by a newfound openness. Unlike before, where he often evaded questions, this time he provided detailed answers, even referencing his initial desire to finish his career with Red Bull when he signed his latest contract. While this long-term intention remains uncertain, it seems that Verstappen is set to remain with the team, at least until 2026. Moreover, discussions between Mercedes and George Russell regarding a multi-year contract extension appear to be progressing positively. This raises the possibility that if Verstappen were to make a move, it would likely occur in 2027, potentially teaming up with Russell in what could be a highly appealing driver lineup, rather than taking Russell's place. Russell publicly disclosed the conversations between Verstappen and Mercedes, which did not sit well with Horner before his departure. The former team principal pointed out Mercedes' performance issues, particularly during the Austrian Grand Prix, at a time when speculation about Verstappen's future was intensifying. The dynamics surrounding driver contracts have always been complex, especially considering the historical rivalry between Red Bull and Mercedes. The year 2021 marked a low point, establishing a pattern of tension between Horner and Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff. This was perhaps best illustrated by Horner's frustrated remark to Wolff to change your f***ing car, a moment captured by Netflix's Drive to Survive a year later. As the focus on Verstappen's future continued at Spa-Francorchamps, the likelihood of any significant changes in the next year seemed slim. However, Belgium presented a unique opportunity for a reset in the relationship between Red Bull and Mercedes. New team principal and CEO Laurent Mekies does not share the same contentious history with Wolff that Horner did. While they may have crossed paths during Mekies' tenure at the FIA and as deputy team principal at Ferrari, he does not carry the same competitive rivalry that could arise from his new position. An intriguing event unfolded during the recent weekend in Belgium when Wolff invited Mekies to Mercedes for a meeting on Saturday evening after qualifying. Mekies' entrance into the Mercedes motorhome was quite noticeable as he navigated through a bustling paddock, coinciding with my live broadcast on SiriusXM, while other broadcasters were also on air, attempting to conduct interviews. The movement of a team principal is always eye-catching, as there is often an intention to approach them for comments. His prolonged absence from the paddock for nearly half an hour, coupled with the need to conclude the meeting in time for the post-qualifying debrief, suggested that substantial discussions were taking place. At least one rival team principal took note of this unusual occurrence, as it was rare for Mekies' predecessor and the Mercedes team principal to engage outside of larger group settings. Aside from a lighthearted moment and a photo initiated by Jerry Horner in Abu Dhabi, I cannot recall a time when either Horner or Wolff entered each other's motorhome, especially not for anything beyond a broader meeting. Despite being competitors on the track, Ferrari, Red Bull, and Mercedes have reasons to collaborate off it. While they may not ultimately be selling the same product, Mercedes and Red Bull share more common ground than one might assume as Formula One teams. Wolff recognized that extending an olive branch at the beginning of this new era for Red Bull could be mutually beneficial. In 2026, Red Bull will join Mercedes, Ferrari, and newcomers Audi as the only teams that produce their own chassis and power units. This positions these four teams differently from the other 10 or 11 next year teams on the grid regarding future regulatory directions and costs. Given the uncertainty surrounding the future of power units beyond the 2026 regulations, both Wolff and Mekies felt it was crucial to understand each other's intentions and preferences for the sport moving forward. This type of relationship is already established between Ferrari's Fred Vasseur and Wolff, and there is a positive rapport between McLaren and both Ferrari and Mercedes as well. Under Horner, Red Bull had been somewhat of an outlier, lacking the same level of collaboration on broader issues off the track. Fostering a better working relationship could prove vital in the coming years, especially as F1 teams and drivers sometimes face challenges in their interactions with FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem. Moreover, it is essential for the key stakeholders in the sport to unite on larger issues. While they may not always agree or share the same objectives, having a clear understanding of each team's preferences and requirements enhances the likelihood of progress in what can often be a combative environment. Teams will always fiercely compete on the track, and there would certainly be no fondness lost if Red Bull were to eventually lose Verstappen to Mercedes in 2027 or later. However, the leadership change in Milton Keynes has opened the door for a more amicable off-track dynamic, and the two team principals wasted no time in initiating this in Belgium. Until they find themselves battling for championships once more, this relationship stands a better chance of starting on solid ground.